Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another game, Rampage versus Team Project Icarus. And after some technical difficulties, we did lose the footage to the first round, but the second round will be Rampage versus Project Icarus on Hollywood. The Rampage are currently up 1-0, winning Nepal to a 2-1, and we will now see as the Rampage are most likely first to attack. Hollywood is a hybrid map where the attacking team must first cap a single point and then escort a payload to the end of the map as quickly as possible in an attempt to either get the payload further than the enemy team or faster than the enemy team. It looks like the Rampage will be on attack as predicted. It looks like they will be busting out a pharmacy on the earlier side of things. We do see a Winston Roadhog as well, but I would not be surprised if we saw that swap. A very interesting combination as Winston has lots of mobility and Roadhog has none. We see a pharmacy on that side, and that will not be great as Billiam is playing the Ashe right out the gate. Billiam on that hit scan. We will probably see a switch from both Sarkweek and Mallard very quickly. Koala Bear as well playing Echo. And that will put the pharmacy in a very uncomfortable position as they are desperately going to avoid taking damage.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And the gates will open and the Rampage will attack as quickly as possible. Unsurprisingly, Andromeda's switching to the Wrecking Ball off of the Roadhog. We do see minions at the top. The team is rather split right now with the pharmacy in the sky on their own and the Winston waiting. We do see the Sigma playing the high ground on the side of Team Project Icarus. We do see Sarkweek eliminate Sigma very early on in this fight, but it looks like Sarkweek may fall as well. Minions diving out of the point. If a minions can eliminate the Ashe in the back line, Sarkweek will have an absolute free reign with two already falling on the side of Project Icarus. The Rampage really can just move in here and clean up this fight as quickly as possible. Minions at less than half health has to play very smart in order to not die. He will flank the Ashe in a desperate attempt to eliminate the Ashe, and it looks like the Rampage will already have the first round completed in their favor. They will cap the point very early, and now with 6 minutes on the clock, excuse me, it might be 5.5 minutes, I don't recall correctly. With 5.5 minutes on the clock, it looks like we will see the Rampage in a very comfortable spot to continue to escort this payload to the final point of the map. It looks like the game has been paused. We will wait possible technical difficulties. It looks like we will be suffering a technical difficulty. We will have to unfortunately wait for it to return, but I can give you further in-depth description of the map that was lost due to technical difficulties. We had Nepal, where Team Project Icarus did win the first map, and then the Rampage went on to win the second and third map, putting them at an advantage, the 2-1. Minions being the MVP of Team Rampage, and Billiam being the MVP of Team Project Icarus. Now, with 5.5 minutes on the clock and Mui disconnecting, we will have to wait, as the scrim may possibly be ended early if there was a technical difficulty enough for him to not be able to reconnect. The worst thing about a paused game is even the commentator, even the caster, even the spectator cannot move around. So instead we have to stare at these wonderful bubbles indicating what looks like an above attack from Andromedas and Sarkweek. But again, with the Ashe and Echo on the side of Team Project Icarus, it would be very difficult to complete these picks as far as sticking your head out there. Because even with the Resurrection, if another headshot is landed, the Pharah is in a very difficult spot, as Resurrection can only be activated every 30 seconds. It looks like Mui will be reconnecting, possibly. The Fancy Cat has fallen on the side of the Rampage. So it appears that they are up in a 5v6, but with Mui respawning back in the spawn and not being a part of the fight, it will be a 5v5. With the support being lost, Cold Chill only being able to hit one hero at a time, the healing will desperately be down on the side of Project Icarus and will most likely force them to move back. I may cut this part out of the video, I may not, who knows. So I don't have much to say, as without showing you the first round, which I cannot do at this moment, you will not understand any of the information that I'm giving. And it looks like Mui has, looks like the 6th player slot has just been removed from the side of the Rampage. It looks like the game will begin in a 5v6 without Mui playing. A very unusual thing to happen. Mui has returned on the Hanzo. We will now see a 6v6 taking place once again. After some technical difficulties, we are back in the fight. The Baptiste still having fallen. Andromeda's flying in, already half health. Sarkweek being eliminated by Billiam as predicted, but Cold Chill and Koala Bear both falling. The resurrection on Sarkweek, bringing them back to a 6v3. Razor and Billiam just backing up, desperately trying to get out of that fight. We have 3 in the front line with Billiam already half health and the Sigma caught out on his own. Andromedas will have to run, but will he be able to get the kill? They're both very low health. It looks like it will be a 1v1, a match of the tanks. We do see Andromedas looking for a way to slam into the fight. Will he be able to? No, he will instead go to the top. He's 80% on his mines. We do see almost 4 ultimates coming out the side of the Rampage, and we only see 2 coming out the side of Project Icarus. After winning that first fight without a single relent, the Team Rampage will be up massively in ult charge. If we can see the slam, no, the coach gun from Billiam pushing Andromeda's back, making the slam completely useless, and a DM from the Ziva of Project Icarus, making the rocket barrage from Sarkweek absolutely useless, but Sarkweek already 30% back to another rocket barrage. Absolutely incredible. Andromedas may fall, but he will get the ultimate out. And it looks like Andromedas will fall to Koala Bear. We will swap. It looks like minions will be in the backline on Cold Chill, but the D.Va diving backwards and peeling for the Ana will make minions in a tough spot. Minions will fall as well, with Project Icarus flipping this around in their favor for the first time this round. Mui also about to be eliminated by Razor. We will have to see a full tactical reset from the side of Team Rampage in order to win this fight. Mui does have his dragons, and Minions does have his primal rage, with Sarkweek already 52% to another ultimate. Absolutely incredible performance from Sarkweek up to this point. Billiam immediately being eliminated from Sarkweek. The hit scan on the side of Project Icarus again being eliminated in a desperate attempt to keep the Pharah pick alive at 80% to another barrage. Koala Bear will pick Sarkweek out of the sky, falling in a very difficult spot to res, as on the point is where the entirety of Project Icarus is going to be. The Fancy Cat will pop Valkyrie here, and it looks like the fight will again flip into the favor of Project Icarus, even though Team Rampage did have that first pick. Koala Bear does have the ultimate. Oh, excuse me, Koala Bear is now on Wrecking Ball as Echo frontlining. Very difficult. Most likely going to pop the ultimate as soon as it's received. But after being eliminated, will the mines stay? This is an interesting combination. No, the mines will be eliminated as Koala Bear is also eliminated on the Wrecking Ball. But Koala Bear as Echo will survive. Billiam again getting to the high ground in a desperate attempt to put pressure on Sarkweek. Because if Sarkweek can run around relentlessly, this should be an easy fight for the Rampage with another barrage already ready. We do see a triple kill on the side of Project Icarus. Absolutely incredible performance from the D.Va up to this point. First eating an entire rocket barrage and then getting a triple kill with a single D.Va bomb. We do see the D.Va playing the high ground, the best spot for a D.Va to be, but we do see the Rampager holding onto these ultimates and are nearly to 5 ultimates. Sarkweek really having the pressure put on from both the D.Va and the Soldier, and occasionally the Echo and Winston with 4 people fighting the Pharah. Is the Pharah still the pick at this point? Sarkweek being focused every time he pokes his head out. Should he swap off onto something else? If he barrages here, it will be eaten. Andromeda's with the slam onto the point, causing a lot of pressure, forcing the team to separate. Mui with the dragons, forcing everybody off the high ground onto the point. Minions pops to Primal Rage with Cold Chill, falling to Taijitu very early. We see a barrage come out from Sarkweek, but Sarkweek will be eliminated by Billiam. Absolutely incredible performance so far from all teams, with a 3-minute stall already coming from Project Icarus. Rampage need to win this and cap the point in order to continue to push. And it looks like they will be able to do that as everyone has fallen except for Razor and the D.Va on the side of Project Icarus. Cold Chill has returned on the Brigida, but will it be enough? With the door being blocked off by an Andromedas, an incredible ultimate. Cold Chill once again falling. Razor and D.Va being the only two left alive. Billiam flanking with the visor. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it right here. We will see it right here. But the bubble from minions negating almost the first half of the ultimate. Andromedus getting in his face, just forcing the soldier back off the point. The soldier loses the entirety of his ultimate, barely doing any damage. Andromedus just with the relentless pick. Sarkweek will get the pick, though, over Andromedus. Billiam falling, the D.Va falling, and the Rampage will successfully be able to cap the point in their favor, adding another minute to the count. Now, the Rampage are in a tough spot, as 2.5 minutes is not a very long time to push this all the way to the end of the map. We will jump now to Sarkweek, who's frontlining very hard with his tanks. We do see Project Icarus retreating out into their spawn. Sarkweek 70% on the ultimate, swapping to the Echo off of the Pharah. An absolutely incredible pick, as the offered mobility makes it much easier to get out of the sky when they need to. The Torbjorn pick from Billiam, an absolutely fascinating one, as they now have a turret to focus on the skies. The Torbjorn can now focus more on the low ground. We do see another bomb come out from the side of the D.Va, and it will get 0. We did hear a rally come out from Cold Chill as well with Sarkweek falling. Was the rally even necessary? Minions just sitting in the back line, destroying the turret. Can Minions make it out of here alive is the question. It looks like the answer maybe no. The stun from underneath? An absolutely incredible interaction, as I don't believe that stun should have connected, but somehow did. Putting the Rampage at a 3v6 disadvantage, but with a spawn advantage for this first fight. A minute 20 on the clock and 5 ultimates, 6 ultimates. We're about to see a full-on ult-apocalypse from the side of the Rampage, as 6 ultimates can come to life all at one time. Now the play here would be for Andromedus to hold on to his ultimate until the cart is closer to the end, so he can ult the final point, pushing the enemy team off the cart. Andromedus will jump up to the high ground, most likely going to look for a slam here in order to drop the mines. Andromedus going up. We do see the slam. The Dragons coming out from Mui rather early in this fight, being booped in by Andromedus. Andromedus getting both of the supports here through Mui's ultimate. Sarkweek taking out Koala Bear. This could be the fight the Rampage needed to finish with any time on the clock. They should be focused here on pushing the cart, not confirming the kills, as they may have missed their opportunity, as Team Project Icarus will just be pouring out of their spawn at this point, one by one, ticking down that clock by the second. Do we see a connection from the Echo? It will be no, and it looks like the Rampage will finish with 16 seconds on the clock. A very small time bank, but that's if Project Icarus can finish it all. If the Rampage can full hold or prevent Project Icarus from completing the final map, they will win this simply by completing the map further than Project Icarus was able to do.
Initiating match.
We will return to the front of the map where the Project Icarus will now have an attempt to cap the point, the very same as the Rampage. And if they do not cap this point within, let's say, the first 2 tries, they will already be at a disadvantage. This fight could get sloppy very quickly.
Ready for battle.
Now, it looks like we do see Orion Zarya on the side of Project Icarus. This is something that they're very comfortable with, as was shown on Nepal, but again, we did lose that footage, unfortunately, due to a technical error. Now we see Orion D.Va on the side of Rampage, as Orion D.Va seems to be the way to go in order to defend this point. If Andromedus can get away with eating the Dragons, the Nano Boost, the High Noon, or the Graviton Surge, absolute value city will be shown through Andromedus if he can successfully eat these ultimates. Mallard in the front line. This seems to be a Mallard staple, sitting at the front line until about 10 seconds are left. He will then run to return to his point. A very unusual strategy. Really has no risk on his life. It's just a very unusual thing to do at the beginning of the map.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
With 13% already on the board for minions from an early Flame Strike, an absolutely incredible spot to be in. It puts them at a slight advantage over Project Icarus, as their Reinhardt's only at 10% now, with minions 6% ahead still. We now see Flame Strikes are the best way to farm an ultimate as Reinhardt. You can hit several enemies at one time, as shown there. Minions getting 10% off a single Flame Strike. Andromeda's losing his mech early, but Koala Bear dying to Andromeda out of his mech. Billiam eliminating Andromeda's. It's a very difficult fight. Sarkweek falling as well. It looks like this could still be anybody's game. Minions 80% on the Shatter if he can stall long enough to connect the Shatter, but without his Ana is now stuck and will fall. No! Mallard will be able to connect the kill on Razor, putting the Rampage in a winning position. The Rampage will be able to win this fight if they can hold together. Cold Chill will fall to Mui, as will Koala Bear, putting the Rampage again in a very comfortable spot. Fancy Cat falling as well. 4 falling on the side of Project Icarus without even a single push. The Rampage simply resetting, but still being able to pull off, eliminating 4 people on the side of Project Icarus. We do see Minions getting his ultimate 20% before Razor. That does show a different level of aggression from Minions on this defense. Each Flame Strike hitting at least one person. We will see Minions look for the Shatter here. He will have to play Mind Games through Razor, because if he loses and misses the Shatter, he hits the Shatter on no one, and it looks like they will still be able to turn this fight around, as Koala Bear does fall to Sarkweek, as does Billiam, but Sarkweek falling, the Fancy Cat falling. Minions does block the Shatter, redeeming his missed Shatter. We do see the charge on Minions, but the stun from Mui, an absolutely incredible performance. The flashbang coming from Mui here, saving Minions from taking half damage. Minions frontlining in a desperate attempt to kill that Zarya, but he will have to back as the DPS move forward. But Mui is relentless and will confirm the kill on the Zarya. Both Flame Strikes hitting no one. The Rampage will return, holding an absolutely much better defense than Project Icarus. But if Project Icarus can break this barrier, they do have an attempt at tying Rampage for the final, taking us into extra rounds. But if they cannot cap this first point, the map will go to the Rampage. We do see a coordinated team push coming from the side of Project Icarus. The Reinhardt 20% to his ultimate. We do see the Dragons come from Mui, deal some serious damage. We hear the Nano come from Taijitu as well. Minions frontlining very hard with the Fancy Cat falling to a Flame Strike from Minions. Minions just frontlining very hard. Razor less than 100 health, just barely trying to escape, but the Flame Strike from Minions will do just enough damage to eliminate Razor. Razor being at 74 health, Minions doing 75 damage with the Flame Strike. Billiam falling as well. With only a minute 10 left on the clock, the Project Icarus are really going to have to pull out some serious plays here in order to beat the Rampage, who are just relentlessly holding them off the point. We do see Minions getting another Shatter nearly 50% before Razor. We do see an ult advantage on the side of Team Rampage, but just barely, as the ultimates have come very close. All Project Icarus has to do here is get a single elimination on the side of the Rampage and just hope that that will be enough for them to complete this point. But the Rampage have shown a serious, rock-solid defense. Absolutely incredible. We hear the High Noon come out as well as the Graviton Surge. The High Noon eliminating 2. This fight will most likely fall in the favor of the Rampage. What can they do to win this point here? Razor in the back line. He is nanoed. Will he eliminate the Ana? It seems it won't even matter as Minions gets this stun on Billiam. Minions less than 200 health, just desperately trying to survive, but Koala Bear's Dragons from spawn will eliminate Minions, which is a dangerous thing for the Rampage as they need that shield to hold this front line. Can this be ticked into overtime? With the Fancy Cat simply waiting to touch and the Wrecking Ball coming around the back line, forcing them to rotate backwards. Razor's going to get a free Shatter here as Minions has not returned from spawn. Taijitu falls, as does Sarkweek. Is this going to be a big bomb? The bomb will eliminate Fancy Cat, but will it be enough? The Shatter will not pick up Andromedus, but will stun Billiam. No, Billiam was stunned by Mui, but Mui will fall to the Wrecking Ball. Koala Bear falling, with Andromedus being the only one on point, is not going to be enough as he will lose the mech and does not have a bomb to get a free one. It looks like Project Icarus will successfully be able to flip this point in overtime. It looks like Rampage will be giving up this point, as only a minute and a half will be added to the time bank for Team Project Icarus. Oh, excuse me, first point, 2.5 minutes, my apologies. Minions taking a nap in the middle of a team fight. Looks like we'll see Razor run back into spawn to swap to a Wrecking Ball, leaving them much more susceptible. No, we will see a double swap from Project Icarus as they'll swap to a dive comp with a Widowmaker from Billiam. Double sniper dive. Very fascinating combination of heroes. Sarkweek has died and will be coming out from spawn. But Mallard is frontlining with his team in a desperate attempt to keep Minions alive, but Minions is just being juggled around. The Nano comes out before the nade hits, luckily giving Minions that health boost. Minions now the only one to gain Shatters, as the Winston is the only way to block the Shatters on the side of Project Icarus. With the Wrecking Ball in the back line, Mallard will fall in a desperate attempt. They will try to clean up this ball, but with the charge coming from Minions, the rest of the team will miss their shots on him. The Fancy Cat fighting Mui in a 1v1. Mui has to hit the flashbang with one more shot. Mui looks like he will run as he's very low on health. The Fancy Cat falling into the back line. Andromeda's frontlining very hard. Mui falling to Koala Bear. It looks like Project Icarus are just getting to walk the cart, as they are just splitting up the Rampage and eliminating them one by one as they walk out. Even if the Rampage are able to prevent this stall, they will win. But if the Rampage lose this stall, they will not be in a good spot, as Project Icarus is farming these ultimates. The Shatter and the Beat are both prepared to come from Team Rampage, but it looks like they will be able to cap this point. It looks like they will have 2.5 minutes to get this to the final point. 2.5 minutes may sound like a long time, but it's an incredibly short amount of time to get from the second point to the third point with no contest. It looks like the Hajdu will fall to a nanoed Razor in the backline. Minions falling to Koala Bear as well. It looks like Project Icarus will continue to walk the cart forward in a desperate attempt to cap with more time than the Rampage or cap at all. With the clock ticking down almost 2 minutes before the cart is able to move. The Wrecking Ball falls to half health on the side of Project Icarus. We will see the Rampage regroup with lots of ultimates coming from the side of the Rampage. Andromedus looks like he will fall, losing both his mech and his life. Sharkweek eliminating Koala Bear, giving them their first advantage in the last 3 team fights. We see 3 ultimates on the side. Excuse me. As Andromedus respawns, we see 4 ultimates on the side of the Rampage. Koala Bear already respawning with the slightest spawn advantage. If Minions can hit a large shatter here with the Winston away from the cart. Oh, he tried to bait the shatter, but was not. But Minions was smarter. We do see a double support stun on the side of Minions Shatter with both of them falling. The bomb getting none as Minions cleans up the shatter. The Wrecking Ball falling as well. This is not good for Team Project Icarus as they really needed to collect this cart point before they lost all their time. We do see a really dangerous fight here as Project Icarus does have the Rampage. They do have the Dragons, but what do they have more than the Rampage is no ultimates. The Rampage have 4 ultimates over the 2 ultimates, with the swap from Razor giving up the Primal Rage. A very interesting swap as Minions won't have another Shatter for a long time. With a minute left, neither of them may be able to get a Shatter out of this fight. We see the High Noon come from Mui, collects none. We do see the Dragons come from Koala Bear again collecting none, but the Dragons from Sarkweek will clean up Billiam, but Mui falling to the Sigma on the side. We do see the beat come out from Fancy Cat, the beat come out from both teams as well as the Nano on the Minions, who will take a nap, but will be woken up right away. An absolutely clumsy mistake from Razor waking up the Nano enemy, which does make Cold Chill fall to the Flame Strike. Fancy Cat falling as well with no supports on the side of Project Icarus. This should be a very easy cleanup with the main tank falling as well. A 3v6 on the side of the Rampage here. They will successfully be able to eliminate the team. And with only 20 seconds left on the clock and no ultimates from either team, this could still be anybody's game. Simply who will get the elimination first. Even if Project Icarus does get an elimination, it is now impossible for them to cap this point without overtime being activated, as they would have already needed to be pushing this cart to get it before the overtime clock did connect. Andromeda's eating a Flame Strike. Razor moving in far. Billiam moving in as well. Andromeda's eliminating another huge stun from Minions. A double Earth Shatter. Minions did successfully get that. And it looks like this will fall in the favor of Team Rampage, and it looks like they may successfully be able to clean up their second point. The bomb collecting none. It looks like a stun on Sarkweek, but the Rhine cannot simply get in there to confirm the kill. Cold Chill and Sigma and Razor all falling on the side of Project Icarus, gaming Billiam as well. It looks like the second map will go in favor of Team Rampage, putting them up a 2-0 deficit over Team Project Icarus. We saw an absolutely incredible defense from Team Rampage there. Their offense did get a little bit sloppy after capping the first point, but we did see an incredible turnaround from both sides of the team. An absolutely incredible performance. After Project Icarus was able to cap the point in overtime, they did successfully make it almost all the way to the third point, so a rather impressive performance from them as well, as they got to walk from first to second point with very little opposition, as the Rampage were picked off one by one in a desperate attempt to regroup, but poking just a little too far every time. Minions once again proving his worth on that Reinhardt as an area he is very comfortable. Every single one of those shatters connecting with somebody except for the first on the point. Razor as well, with those nanos, Razor holding that left click, just getting picks again and again, staying alive through what should have been an impossible feat. With our first 2 maps completed, we will move on to another map. I'm assuming right now we will see a lot, or we won't see, but we would have heard a lot of coaching from the coaches on both sides of the game. It looks like Derpy will be swapped out with Minions. Minions now sitting in the spectator box. Volskaya Industries being the next map, and as of right now, Team Rampage is going to attack first. We've seen, again, an incredible performance from all players up to this point, and I'm very excited for map 3, as even though the points may be 2-0 in the favor of the Rampage, every map has been incredibly close. All 12 players really proving their worth, that they belong on these teams. We will wait. Now the coaching most likely happening at this moment We will wait to begin the map. We will not know, however, chat is turned off in order to avoid clutter on the screen. We will have to wait to see what comes out of both teams. I wouldn't be surprised. The swap onto Derpy makes me believe that if they're attacking first, the Rampage will come out with a Rein Zarya comp. Possibly a Wrecking Ball, as I have seen Derpy very comfortable on the Wrecking Ball. It looks like the map had not started yet, but it looks like my prediction was not correct. It looks like we were going to see a dive comp on the side of Team Rampage, with the map starting slightly too early. Or with the map not starting at all, rather. Now, the most difficult thing about Volskaya Industries is there's only two real ways to get through this choke, and that is to go through the choke here, or to jump around the left side of the map, either using a teleporter, or a boost, or a wall ride, or something, and just getting around the enemy team is very difficult to do. The best strategy, in my opinion, is to push forward in a rather relentless fashion, and desperately just try to get a pick before the enemy team gets a pick on you. But with the offense having a serious advantage here in terms of spawns, I was correct, I'd like to point out. There was not a dive comp coming, but instead a Rein Zarya comp coming from the side of Team Rampage. But it looks like we may be seeing a dive comp coming from Project Icarus on defense. We do see the Sombra and the Echo, which will be very good picks. If the Sombra can continuously hack Derpy on the Reinhardt, we will see a serious struggles without his shield. Reinhardt is always in a very dangerous spot. We will see Derpy leading the charge for his team.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Now we will see Project Icarus kind of holding far back here with the Echo already in the sky, but giving Rampage a lot of room to move through this choke freely. The choke arguably being the hardest part of getting onto the point. The Rampage look like they will be going up and around in a very interesting strategy here. Will it be enough? The Rampage will go all the way up and around and drop onto the point together. Sarkweek already less than half health in a very dangerous position. Mui teleporting somewhere. Mui teleporting in, but dying. Billiam dying as well. 5v5, both sides losing a DPS. Cold Chill falling in the favor of Rampage. Losing a support is a very dangerous game to play, especially when on defense. It looks like the Rampage may already be able to turn this fight around in their favor. With not even a minute off the clock, they have already almost capped a first tick. Koala Bear falling as well. The Rampage will be able to cap their first tick, and it looks like they may be able to cap the point entirely if they are able to eliminate the D.Va and the Winston, who are both still alive. Razor dropping on a point as Winston desperately trying to get a pick on anybody, but will it be enough? The Fancy Cap falling as well. The hack on Derpy finally coming through, but it will not be enough as the point is already being capped by the rest of the team. With nearly slightly over a minute off the top, the Rampage have already capped first point and will move to second point with almost 6 minutes on the clock.
New defense point. Objective B.
We do see a slight ult advantage in the favor of Rampage with Dragons already ready, and Razor swapping to Reinhardt, eliminating again, throwing out that ultimate. He almost had his Winston. Losing all that ult charge just to contest Derpy in this 1v1 on the Reinhardt. Fancy Cat and Billiam already falling. It looks like this fight may already be over in the favor of the Rampage. All they have to do is eliminate Razor and Zarya, and they will successfully be able to take this fight. If they can eliminate Cold Chill from the top, this will be a very easy fight. Razor is cornered and will hit the pin on Andromeda, but Razor will fall. Koala Bear will turn into a Reinhardt in a desperate attempt to get a Shatter. The ultimate stacking very fast. The Shatter gets blocked by Derpy. Koala Bear does lose the Reinhardt already. It looks like this already may turn in the favor of Team Rampage with 5 minutes just now being ticked over. Billiam back onto the point is Doomfist, but falling again. The Fancy Cat also back onto the point. The Zarya killing himself with an alternate fire. Cold Chill eliminating Andromeda is not good for the side of the Rampage, but a stun coming from Derpy, taking out Razor, missing the charge. Razor hitting a Shatter of his own, getting none as well. Mui will fall. Billiam will be rezzed. It looks like Team Project Icarus will be able to turn this fight around in their favor. An absolutely incredible performance as that fight should have gone to the Rampage, but it looks like Team Project Icarus was just not ready to fall with 4.5 minutes left on the clock and already 1 point. Team Rampage is in a very comfortable spot as they also have the slightest ult advantage over Team Project Icarus. With the Grab Dragons combo just about to be ready and no defensive ultimates on the side of Project Icarus, Team Rampage could be able to clean this up in a single ultimate push here if they can get these ultimates ready. We will see the supports on the high ground here, both hiding out. With Andromeda and Derpy pushing to the front line, Mallard bouncing around the back line. Derpy very far forward, the rest of his team not there to support him as Mui flanks into the back line. Billiam will eliminate Sarkweek. but Mui will eliminate Cold Chill. 2 falling on the side of the Rampage, 1 falling on the side of Team Project Icarus. Mui will have to escape with his life if he can, just barely. Mui has no health left. Mui will end up falling. Very unfortunate as Zarya was relentless in that kill and would not let him survive. We do see the ultimates creeping up on the side of Project Icarus, but no ultimates being spent on that dry push on the side of the Rampage. The Doomfist pick from Billiam being a very fascinating pick, but one that is proving to pay off as he's gotten a fight pick at the beginning of every fight up to this point. Andromeda's already back to 80 charge. Absolutely incredible performance so far. We do see the Graviton Surge come out from Andromeda's. Razor falling as well as Derpia Reinhardt down on both sides. The Reaper pick from Koala Bear using his ult once again. Only halfway to the ultimate, but losing it already. Not getting the Death Blossom out, wasting the ultimate essentially. We do see the Graviton Surge come out from Zarya on the side of Project Icarus as well. With 2 falling on the side of both teams, this is going to be really difficult. If Mui falls, Koala Bear will eliminate Mui, and it looks like Razor will boot Mallard out of the way. It looks like they will have to move out again. The Rampage being held for nearly 3 minutes up to this point. Absolutely incredible defense from the side of Project Icarus with Koala Bear falling early, but the Rampage are not there to push on this pick. We now see 2 ultimates coming out of the side of Team Rampage, as well as 3 ultimates from Project Icarus with their first ult advantage of the game. Looks like we will see the window pane come out from the Baptiste on the side of Project Icarus, but the Rampage are just going to LOS this to avoid getting damage picked here. But Mallard will fall to a damage boosted Flame Strike, forcing the Rampage back out of the fight. Zarkui will fall as well to Billiam, who's frontlining constantly. It looks like the Hanzo pick may not be enough against the Doomfist as he's constantly in the back line, giving the Hanzo no room to exist. We do see Derpy with the Shatter still holding the front line. Derpy not being eliminated for several fights. And we do see 4 ultimates nearly from the side of the Rampage. With only a minute and a half left on the clock, they are going to have to get some serious damage in here in a desperate attempt to get any picks. We do see Derpy move forward. We are waiting for this Earth Shatter. Will it be connected? If he can eliminate this Reinhardt, he blocks the Shatter. He still has one of his own. He gets the Nano with Cold Chill falling. Can he eliminate this Reinhardt? The Reinhardt will fall. The charge being wasted as he falls. We do see every single ultimate from every team coming out. Derpy solo shattering Koala Bear, an absolutely shocking thing to do, but it looks like it may pay off as they are slowly eliminating every player on the side of Project Icarus. Cold Chill desperately running in to touch the point, wasting every cooldown he has and falling. Koala Bear falling as well already. Can anything be done here? But it looks like the Rampage will be able to cap this point as Andromeda's Graviton surges this front door and Sarkweek kills the Graviton Surge. Sarkweek getting 2 picks with the Dragons. Absolutely incredible performance. 36 seconds left on the clock in the favor of the Rampage. An incredible turnaround as that really looked like they shouldn't have survived, but they did somehow find a way to overcome and cap that second point. We will now watch as Project Icarus Gaming will attempt to do the same thing.
Initiating match.
We did see absolutely incredible performance from Derpy on the Reinhardt as well as Mui on the Reaper. Andromeda's Graviton Surge is winning fights 3 times throughout that game. Sarkweek just absolutely showing his worth as well on the Hanzo. Even with a Doomfist in his face, he still got the picks every time they were needed to get done. That didn't make any sense, but you know what I mean. Great job, Sarkweek. Now it looks like we do see a Rhine Diva, something we're very familiar with on the side of the Rampage. And we do see a Lucio and Ana as well. Very fascinating combination. Mallard again with the Mallard Classic sitting in front of the door for literally no reason until the clock gets to roughly 10 seconds. He will then run and return to his team. We do see a Torbjorn pick and a McCree pick as well, which is okay because as long as Mubi can avoid those flashbangs, the McCree does not get the value he needs.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
With an absolutely incredible attack from the Rampage, but an incredible defense from the Project Icarus as well. We will see the fight begin very early. We will jump right in with a Torb McCree on a Lucio. Very interesting team comp. The double shield coming through with Orion instead of an Orisa, as Orisa was hero bent. They will rush the far left side. The Sigma being left behind. They will rush the far left side as a full 6. They will regroup in this small room. The Ryan shield dropping to 500 health. Can they get what they want to get here? Andromeda's losing nearly... Oh, Andromeda's will lose his mech, actually. Very bad luck for the Rampage here. As Andromeda's losing his mech is not good. Billiam being picked by Mallard, though. Andromeda's losing the mech, not looking quite as bad as one pick on the side of the Rampage is very good. The pick coming from Mallard with an incredible boop onto the Torbjorn. Mallard and Andromeda's falling, as well as Derpy. Koala Bear falling, but it looks like they may have to give up this first point very, very early. Very unfortunate experience. The Sigma killing himself here. Possible tactical reset. Possible toxicity. Who knows? It looks like Sarkweek is not ready to give up this point quite yet. Sarkweek and Taijidu are near the point, but it looks like Sarkweek with the tactical reset will come through. They will give up the point to move back. 5.5 minutes as well on the side of Project Icarus Gaming here. Sarkweek has got the quick respawn. Do we see what needs to be done here from the Rampage? Or will Project Icarus... Oh, Razor falling this early. This fight will be impossible for the side of Project Icarus Gaming as they need that shield to move forward past that first point. The Fancy Cat falling as well. The Rampage coming back absolutely ready to defend this point with their lives. Not ready to give up this point. Ready to take this to 3-0 if possible. Now, it looks like we do see 3 ultimates, nearly 4 from Project Icarus, and we do see 3, almost 4 from Rampage. So we could say Icarus has the slightest ultimate advantage here. Mui waiting to drop and hit his ultimate, but if a sleep dart comes from Cold Chill and eliminates that ultimate, it will be useless. Mui does push back behind the shields as he's afraid he will be picked. Mallard now out of position on his own. We do see the fight rotating onto the point. We've got 3 on the point with 3 behind it. The Dragon's wasted from Sarkweek as no one is in the way. An incredible Gravitic Flux, excuse me, from the Sigma. We hear a High Noon come out on the side of Project Icarus as well. The High Noon picking up one. It is now 4v6 in the favor of Team Project Icarus. Rampage desperately trying to get as many picks as possible. A 4v4 on the front. Razor and Derpy. Razor getting a double. But can Mui clean this up? Mui does pick both supports, but will fall to a Torbjorn with 4 minutes on the clock. All they need is somebody to touch the point, because if they cannot get out of this point, the Nano Boost coming out of Sarkweek in a desperate attempt to keep him alive. Mallard now back with him. Sarkweek eliminating both the Reinhardt and the Torbjorn. An incredible play, even with the Nano. A 2v1 like that, an absolutely incredible performance. We do see the Rampage were able to hold the point, but a tick was received on the side of Project Icarus. They now only need to get 66% of the map. Excuse me. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to be able to do math. I'm embarrassed. That's okay. We're going to move forward here. 44% already taken for Project Icarus. They are now in a much better position to win this fight here with 3.5 minutes still on the clock. That's nearly 5 good team pushes if they move quickly. The beauty of this point is there's so many ways to enter the map that the attacking team must always be ready for whatever is going to come at them. The beat saving Andromeda's life. Reinhardt falling on the side of both teams. The bomb will pick up none with an incredible shield placement from the Sigma on the side of Project Icarus Gaming. Mui nearly falls. The nano boosted Sigma moving way too deep into the back line. The Fancy Cat falling. Andromeda's losing his back. Mallard falling as well. Wait, Cold Chill falling as well. Koala Bear will fall, as will Billiam. Sarkweek will fall to the Sigma. The Sigma just backlining, capping the point all on his own, but he will no longer be able to clean this up as he is the only one alive. He almost got that point by himself, getting 2 picks very early on in that fight. With 3 minutes left on the clock, I'd say nearly 3 to 4 good pushes from the enemy team here. They will be able to cap the point. They are ever so slightly up in that ult advantage, as Sigma does have his Gravitic Flux again. But with Derpy only 15 away from Shatter. With Derpy now having Shatter, the ultimate advantage is still in favor of Project Icarus. They're 1 ultimate ahead. Billiam with the turret placement up top. Derpy being able to do nothing about that. The Gravitic Flux coming out, picking up only Andromeda's, who will not fall to that. But he will fall to the High Noon immediately after 3 falling on the side of the Rampage. It looks like this may be where Project Icarus is able to cap the point with 2 minutes left on the clock. This will be very difficult for the Rampage to cap. Oh, it looks like time is not out quite yet. Sarkweek eliminates Cold Chill. he does get stunned off point. Sarkweek will fall, but we do have players returning to the point. Andromeda's with the classic spin to win strategy, just not letting go of the point, but his health falling very, very low. The Fancy Cat falling, the turret falling as well. The shatter blocked from Derpy. Derpy will fall, but as will Razor. The cap will come through as nobody was on the point, as they were all desperately looking to kill everybody else. Not quite a C9, but not the greatest placement. It looks like that fight will go into the favor of Project Icarus, as they did cap with more time on the clock, putting us into a 2-1, but the Rampage still in the lead by a single map. Now, I'm sure we're going to hear a lot of coaching here, as again, a very close map, really coming down to specific player placement on who was on the point and who was not. I could be incorrect, I could have missed something, but it looked simply as if they just were not on the point, but were better positioned to eliminate rather than protect. It looks like our next map will be an escort on Havana, a personal favorite map of mine, as Havana really has lots of placements for snipers. I'm sure lots of coaching coming through onto this point. It looks like we may not see any hero changes, any player changes as well. Now, there's not much to say in regards to that fight other than, once again, all 12 players did phenomenal. We saw incredible nanos coming through from Taijidu, just in a desperate attempt to keep his teammates alive. An incredible idea, an incredible performance of those nanos, and playing Ana as a whole. As Ana is a very difficult hero to master, but Taijidu proves to us time and time again that he has mastered the ways of Ana. Both Razor and Derpy both hitting incredible earth shatters throughout that game. Absolutely incredible performances from all teams. Both teams. We will now wait as the coaches wrap up and the game does begin. We will see the Rampage on attack once again. And this map, again, a personal favorite of mine. The attacking team will have to get this cart here to the end of the map and eliminate the enemy team as often as possible to complete, again, very similar to our last map, get as many points as possible with as much time on the clock as possible. Now, we will wait to see what comes next here, as in just a second we will see the team comp coming from the Rampage. It looks like we will see a double shield from both teams here with the Ana pick, but a Lucio over a Baptiste on the side of the Rampage. A Widowmaker on both teams as well, as this opening alleyway is very easy to get Widowmaker picks, as playing the high ground here is a very good spot, but if there's a Widowmaker on the enemy team, it becomes much more difficult. We do see the double sniper on the side of both teams, actually, excuse me. Double sniper coming from both teams, a very interesting combination. We will see Razor and Derpy both staying on that Reinhardt. We do see Andromeda's and the Sigma on the enemy team playing Sigma here. The Flame Strike being eaten by Andromeda is already giving him early shields. 15% on the ultimate already versus a 10% on the side of Project Icarus. Again, this first fight is simply who gets picked first, which team loses a player first, and it looks like it will be Project Icarus, as Sarkweek hits yet another headshot on the Widowmaker. The Fancy Cat falling as well, a 4v6 in the favor of the Rampage. The best idea for Project Icarus here is to just get out of this fight with their lives, but even that may be impossible, as Andromedas and Derpy push up relentlessly, picking 5 of the people on the enemy team. Koala Bear, the only one to make it out with their life. We will see, again, almost a free walk on the Rampage, as they can just walk this card to the first point, which will put them over 5 minutes on the time bank, as Project Icarus simply give up the point and move on. An absolutely incredible performance from Sark, because he helped that. And Andromedas and Derpy as well, creating that space, playing that tank role as well as possible. Andromedas on the high ground on his own, but hitting the stun on the Sigma, who's got to be very low. We do see Derpy already having that shatter versus 60% on the side of Project Icarus's Reinhardt. Billiam getting the pick on Andromeda. It's a 5v6 in the favor of Project Icarus. We do see the Immortality Field come out early, but it will not save Fancy Cat, who will fall to Mui on the Ashe now. Ashe, a personal favorite hero of mine. Now we do see some interesting placement here, both Billiam and Cold Chill on the high ground, but Cold Chill really, as I was just about to say, poking far too forward, making them very vulnerable to headshots, but Sarkweek really just went ahead and proved that point for me. An incredible Dragons coming from Sarkweek as well, proving his worth in that Hanzo, an incredible just Dragon placement and understanding of the map to eliminate 2 players right away, 2 more falling immediately after, giving the Rampage a lot of time to walk this cart for free. With both supports hugging the cart and the tanks just pushing forward, relentlessly putting damage into Project Icarus. We do see 2 ultimates on the side of Rampage, but only 1, nearly 4 on the side of Project Icarus. Nearly 4 ultimates on the side of both teams. It's simply who can get them off first and who can get them off better. Mui falling to Koala Bear. We do see the Nano come from Taijidu onto Derpy, but Derpy's in a bad spot here. Koala Bear getting a triple of his own, showing Sarkweek he is not the only Hanzo in this game. Koala Bear relentlessly just not letting this team go. We will have to see a full reset on the side of the Rampage here. Derpy making it out with his life, but just barely. Sarkweek falling again to Koala Bear very early on in the fight, putting them immediately to 5v6. Andromeda's already half health. The Gravitic Flux and the Beat on the side of the Rampage ready to be pulled off, but we see the Window Pane, Bob, and Shatter on the side of Project Icarus Gaming. The Dynamite from the Ashe just constantly farming a Bob. If she didn't have one, she'd be dang close at this point. The question is, when do we see the Bob and who do we see it from first? As Mui eliminates the Sigma, putting him 14% away. We do see the Gravitic Flux come. It is a big Gravitic Flux. Nobody will fall, but Derpy will clean up the kill on Razor. The Bob does come out from Billiam. Billiam will fall to Sarkweek. The Bob simply just not being enough. He cannot get the damage necessary. He will protect the supports, but for how long is the Rampage? Are just now on the cart walking it? All they needed to do was line of sight that Bob. Fancy Cat being booped into the team here. He will be eliminated mid-sleep in the air. Incredible timing from all players. Cold Chill will fall as well, being staggered incredibly. Razor will hit a Shatter, getting 2. Will Taijidu fall? No. Derpy with the stun and the pin on Razor. Derpy being nanoed. Can he eliminate everybody as he fights for this point on his own? The Bob helping him clean them up. The Sigma cannot dodge both of them, and it looks like the point will be capped with nearly 4 minutes on the clock for Team Rampage. With nearly 4 minutes on the clock and 3 ultimates over the current 0 held by Project Icarus, essentially one as Sigma is only 5% away. We will see a relatively difficult push here, as this is arguably the hardest point of the map on the side of the Rampage here. Taijidu hugging the back of the cart, desperately trying not to get sniped here, as getting sniped is essentially a death sentence for the rest of the team. Fantastic nade placement from Taijidu, a better dragon placement from Sarkweek, as the Project Icarus just line up again for him to get a massive dragon. With 3 minutes left on the clock, Rampage has made an incredible push here. We do see a fantastic aim coming from Taijidu, making sure every shot counts, as only 14 shots a clip. Really need to heal this team as much as possible. We do see the very common quick scope strategy here coming from Taijidu, which helps the Ana heals just ever so slightly faster. We will move forward into the team. We do see a Gravitic Flux come out from the Sigma, but a bigger beat will come out. Derpy falling to Razor. We do see the Dragons come out as well. That is 2 ultimates on the side of Project Icarus for a fight that it looks like they may not have won yet. As a single pick on the side of the Rampage could turn this fight around in their favor. We do see the Sigma pushing up far, desperately trying to get picks off to the side. We do see 2 ultimates coming out on the side of Team Rampage. They are ready to be fired at any moment versus the 2 on the side of Project Icarus with the Window Pane here. With the Rampage having to walk down such a small choke, Baptiste's ultimate really could prove to be worthwhile. Derpy again getting the Shatter before Razor. If Derpy can land this Shatter, this could be a game-winning ultimate. He hits the Shatter, but will hit none, and Taijutsu will fall to Koala Bear. They will have to move back. The Nano to Ryan, forcing them backwards. Derpy will jump off the map, trying to survive, but will he be able to? The answer is no. Razor does successfully clean up Derpy. An incredible performance with 97% on the Shatter, now being ahead of Derpy, and his team nearly being ahead on ult charge with 1 ultimate on the side of the Rampage, but nearly 3 on the side of Project Icarus. Mui will swap onto the Ashe. Returning to the Ashe in an attempt to get the Bob. We see a very defensive push here from Razor. We do see he does have his Shatter, but the question is, will he be able to land it with Derpy? I believe blocking every Shatter these games except for 1. Looks like we do see the Dragons come out on the side of Project Icarus. Andromedas and Billiam both falling. Really not looking good for the Rampage here with only a minute left on the clock. Losing their off tank like that, not a great spot to be. Mui will also fall, putting them at a serious disadvantage. They will most likely have to push back. They will push back as Derpy falls, as does Mallard, as does Sarkweek. With the entire team now being eliminated, they will be forced back into spawn with less than a minute on the clock. The Project Icarus really proving their worth here as a team in the defensive rounds. We do see their defense, while it may be light at the beginning, when it really comes down to it, the brass tacks of things, they are relentless and will not give up this point for free, not even close. We do see 3 ultimates, nearly 4 on the side of Team Rampage. We hear a Dynamite come up, but will it get anything? It will get no hits. We do hear the Gravitic Flux come out from Andromedas. He's stunned out of it, nearly falling off the map. Sarkweek falling to Razor very early. A counter Gravitic Flux coming from the Sigma on the enemy team. Once again, getting 0 picks. Mui falling as well. It looks like this may be it as a double Shatter comes through, eliminating Andromedas. Derpy falling to the Sigma as well. Mallard, the sole survivor of the team, desperately looking to cap this point. Just stall if he cannot cap. Will he be able to do it? It looks like the answer will be no, as Mallard looks like he is going to fall to Koala Bear, and the round will end. Project Icarus really again coming to life in that final seconds of that game with almost a 4-minute hold on that map. Looks like we will be resetting the map because this is ever so slightly faster than letting the map reset on its own. Keep in mind the Rampage did get 2 points. Nearly 3, as they were just so close to the end of the map but could not make that final push. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a double shield comp coming again from the side of Project Icarus.
Ready for battle.
Project Icarus already poking out the Sigma, and I would not be surprised if Razor stuck to the Reinhardt, as we've seen that is where he is very comfortable. It looks like we will see a double sniper comp again, but instead of a double sniper comp, we will see something different on the side of the Rampage. We will see a Doomfist Reaper comp here. Very interesting, but very easy to hold up front, which makes me think that the Rampage will look to hold up close and personal here. Derpy, a very interesting strategy, sitting above. It looks like the entire team will be sitting above the cart.
5, 4.
You've got to give him credit. While this may not be the smartest, it is creative.
Attackers incoming.
It looks like the enemy team did know they were there, but Derpy already 20% to his Shatter. Sarkweek looking for an early pick, but with the Immortality Field making it impossible. Derpy nearly 50% to his Shatter this early in the fight. Nearly 15 seconds into the fight, he is 50% to his ultimate. 2 already falling on the side of Project Icarus. Team Rampage really showing that just because it looks stupid does not mean it is not going to work. Really proving their worth. 3 of them falling. Sarkweek getting the kill on the Sigma. The Rampage, really an incredible strategy here, holding up close and personal, because even if they lose this first fight, they will be able to return before a second fight. They will be going out the left side, except the Sigma will be going out the right. Billiam already half health on the side of the Project Icarus. Sarkweek fighting the Sigma in the back line. Koala Bear somehow, even though losing, already having that ultimate. It looks like it will get 2, and it looks like the Rampage will have to get out of this back line here, or they will die. Unless Sarkweek cleans up yet another one, the Immortality Field will come out. It will save both of them. The sleep on Sarkweek, probably forcing him to fall here. Oh, the trap ruining the play. Absolutely incredible trap placement from Koala Bear, even if incidental. Mui somehow still alive in the back line, but he will fall here. Even though he did eliminate the Baptiste, they will be able to full reset and prevent yet another fight. Holding up that close while being incredibly risky. If they can hold at least a single fight, that's nearly a minute off the clock, and they'll get a free fight again because the cart simply cannot move fast enough. We do see Derpy 90% to his shatter, but Razor has pulled ahead, almost having that shatter. The window pane coming out early from Fancy Cat in this fight, but the rally coming out from Mallard as well, which will have to force the Rampage to move together quickly and close. Movie does get the pick on the Sigma. We do see a double shatter coming from Razor, but he cannot confirm any kills as a bigger shatter comes from Derpy. He will get 4, cleaning up all of them. An incredible shatter from Derpy. Sarkweek will eliminate Koala Bear, putting us at essentially a team kill. We do see Andromedus with the ultimate. I would not be surprised if the Gravitic Flux was popped next fight. As with only having the Immortality Field prepared, they will have no defensive ultimates to prevent a lot of damage coming out of this Gravitic Flux if the Immortality Field is successfully eliminated. Billiam already falling to Sarkweek, putting them at a very unfortunate disadvantage. A minute and a half only on the clock. If the Rampage can keep up this incredible streak of holding this point, they will be able to call this game right here, right now, putting them at a 3-1 advantage. You see a relentless push from both Sigmas on both teams here. They will push into a small corridor. Probably not the smartest thing to do. The Gravitic Flux on the side of the enemy team. The Gravitic Flux coming in. It will eliminate Derpy. The Immortality Field is out, so Andromedus could get the Gravitic Flux if he wanted to. But would it be worth it? Andromedus being the only one left, as Mallard is nearly half health. Mallard being chased down and will fall to Razor. Andromedus falling as well. Looks like Project Icarus will be able to push this into more time as they will be able to cap this point. Nobody on the Rampage being able to return in time for the point to end. Looks like we will be moving inside. Derpy in the front line getting a very interesting pick on the Sigma. A very well-timed Flame Strike. Those railings really did need to be eliminated as it does help the team focus a lot more getting their anger out like this. Another Flame Strike coming from Derpy, 70% to a shatter, but Razor already having his shatter. Can Razor bait him down to get the shatter? No, Razor does try to bait him for the stun, but Derpy was ready for it, and Derpy will get up close and personal, 80% to the shatter. Razor nearly dead if Derpy can just confirm one more Flame Strike on the enemy. Can he get it nearly? Razor will be healed, but Koala Bear falling on the side of Icarus. Not looking good for them here, with only 2.5 minutes to push this rather far. The ultimate's really stacking up on the side of the Rampage. While Icarus may be ahead in ult advantage, the Rampage look as they will all be getting their ultimates very soon. As shown, 4 of them have gotten these ultimates. The High Noon comes out from Mui, but can he get any kills? Looks like the answer will be no as Mui does fall to Koala Bear. The Bob has been slept. We do see the rockets come. Will it be enough? Billiam is eliminated by Sarkweek. Absolutely incredible. Bob is just shooting into the shield. The shield falling less than 500 health. A very dangerous place to have it. If that shield goes down, it will be a free shatter for Razor. We do hear the tire come out. Oh, the shatter is blocked. Absolutely incredible placement. Dragons from Sarkweek again. Even if the shatter didn't connect, the Dragons will. The charge missed from Razor that will cost him his life. Can the shatter move forward? Derpy really still looking. He's halfway to another shatter almost. One swing away from halfway away to a shatter. What do we see here? Like they will be regrouping on the side and pushing right down the middle. Derpy playing the high ground. Razor not letting go of that shatter quite yet. Will Derpy be able to block this shatter? But when he's on the high ground, the answer will easily be no. But if he drops to the low ground, things will look better for him. The Gravitic Flux does come out from the Sigma on the side of Project Icarus. Will Razor look for the shatter here? We do see a purple coming. An incredible play, 70% on the ultimate. The Reinhardt on the side of Project Icarus being very charge happy, but Derpy time and time again just dodging those charges, reading every single one of them like a book. We will see as the Sigma alone pushes the Rampage off this point. Sarkweek falling to this Sigma, the very same. And it looks like Project Icarus may be able to push us into our third point. Mallard does touch in a desperate attempt to keep this point alive. Will he be able to get out with his life? The answer is yes, but his struggles were now... Oh, Derpy will fall with the nano, pushing this even further. It looks like we may be able to enter overtime, but Derpy is the only one down. A double stun from Derpy, a double shatter, but it will not be enough as the Immortality Field does come through. Derpy and Taijita being eliminated by Koala Bear. It looks like they will finally be able to push this point into overtime, bringing us into our final point of the third map here. with a minute and 45 seconds to basically finish the map. Will they be able to do it? Team Rampage ready to put up an absolute fight. Billiam already in the front line of Team Rampage. They're not even aware he's underneath them. Jorpy ready to hold this front line, but he does not know that Doomfist is behind him. If the Doomfist is able to punch him out of place, things will get sloppy. Razor again having an Earth Shatter with Derpy only 33% as the double shatter earlier did not come through. Fancy Cat falling very early to Mui here. And we do see what appears to be a rather large Earth Shatter. 2 being eliminated on the side of the Rampage. Derpy charging in with 10 health, and he will fall. Starkweek falling as well, 60 seconds on the clock. The Rampage are really going to have to pull out all their stops here with 4 ultimates on the side of Project Icarus. The Rampage are really living on a prayer here. If they're able to touch at all. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Project Icarus has technically won the map, but it looks like we will be taking them into the final point here. The Dragons coming through. Will they be enough? The Gravitic Flux and the Tire coming through as well. Will they be enough? Nobody's falling quite yet, but with a triple Tire from Koala Bear, it looks like this fight will end in the favor of Project Icarus as Derpy and Mallard alone cannot eliminate the remaining 5 players of the team. An incredible double stun from Derpy. Mui cleaning up both supports, but Mui and Derpy both falling. Mallard, the only one left alive on point. He will be stunned and most likely eliminated. He will hug the high ground, but will it be enough? It looks like Sarkwick eliminating Koala Bear on the Doomfist here. Billiam as well falling to Mallard. They've pushed it into overtime, and even though they have lost, can they keep this a 2-2? Sarkwick eliminating Razor. It looks like the Rampage have finally come to life. Can the Sig 9 be performed? The answer is no, but it looks like they will still be able to tick the clock into overtime, technically making that a 2-2, but if I'm not mistaken, falling into the favor of Project Icarus, making the overall score 2-2 as well. We have seen just absolutely incredible adaptation and performance from all 12 players. Koala Bear really proving their worth there. The triple Tire out of a Gravitic Flux. Absolutely amazing. Razor and Derpy shattering and blocking each other's shatters left and right, farming their ultimates so incredibly fast. Now it looks like we are waiting to hear a map from the side of the Rampage. I believe this will be our final map of the evening. With a 2-2 score, this map really does put it all on the line. This map will make or break the Rampage. Will they be able to win it all, or will this scrim end in a 3-2 in the favor of Project Icarus? Honest, with the performance I've seen today, if the Rampage sticks to their Ryan Zarya comp, they have a much better chance of winning here. Maybe even swapping Derpy onto the off-tank and putting minions in on Reinhardt. That would be an interesting swap. Busan is a map we have seen the Rampage are very familiar with. This is something that they know left, right, and center. Looks like we are now waiting for confirmation that Team Rampage is ready. My best guess on Project Icarus, although I am much less familiar with their team comps, they will most likely run the Ryan Sigma on this map, as the Gravitic Flux can be busted from many different angles on this map, but as well as the double shield may really come in handy, especially if the Ryan Zarya is run on the side of the Rampage. If Koala Bear sticks to that Junkrat, the double shield Junkrat will win over the Ryan Zarya Rampage. Now again, this is simply a prediction, as the Rampage have really clutched what should have been many losses before. They are really very good at coming back in the final moments of a map. So we will, I'm sure, watch a very incredible map as we move on to map 5 for the evening. It looks like we are ready and will be entering Busan Downtown. I believe will be our first map. Looks like I am correct. Busan Downtown being a personal favorite map of mine. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Wrecking Ball from Andromeda's here, but the question is that the good play? As every time we see a Wrecking Ball, the enemy team immediately swaps to a Sombra in order to make sure he gets as little value as possible. We will see the hero assembly in nearly 3 seconds. We will see if my predictions were correct on either side.
Ready.
No, I was wrong on both sides because Dive comp come out on this map. Dive is being rather good on this map. We do see the Sombra and the Wrecking Ball as semi-predicted. But Sarkweek back on the Echo and no hit scan on the side of Project Icarus other than the Sombra, who cannot worry about taking an Echo out of the air. Things will get interesting here. If Sarkweek can get a lot of value here, things could turn in the favor of the Rampage.
You should be at peak.
Andromeda swapping to the Zarya over the Wrecking Ball, again making me half correct. Back to the Wrecking Ball, still leaving me half correct. Sarkweek flies into the sky right away with the Mercy Pocket. This is going to be a very interesting combination. We do see the Monkey already moving on the point as well as the Ball. The Ball already up close and personal with the hack. Billiam will fall, even though he gets the hack off successfully on the Sarkweek. Billiam will fall. Sarkweek is well falling, and Mui and Mallard. The Rampage being cleaned up right away from a Genji Winston being caught in a very close corridor. It looks like we will end up capping the point here. Project Icarus on point. They will get a free cap very early in the game. We do see Koala Bear up in the sky ready for this fight. Koala Bear hitting incredible amount of shots on Sarkweek. Razor putting a lot of pressure on Sarkweek as well. We may see a swap from Sarkweek simply for the fact that they simply cannot get the value they're looking for. Mallard may swap as well. Billiam does once again fall, but the Rampage are at a disadvantage here. A 5v6. Cold Chill falling though. Taijutsu still falling, leaving the Rampage down one. Mui falling as well. The Rampage will have to give up this point. Derpy getting kill after kill, but it simply will not be enough. It looks like we are in a tank v tank scenario here. The Genji way too worried about the front line. Look at his back line. Derpy falling to Koala Bear. Andromeda's the only one on the point. Most likely going to fall here. Sarkweek picking Billiam early. The Ball falling as well. It looks like this fight will flip in the favor of Project Icarus. No, excuse me, of the Rampage. Project Icarus losing the point for the first time this round. Only having 40% on the map. The Rampage only have to win 2 fights in order to be in the lead for our first map. Looks like Billiam is running around on the flank. We did swap to the Pharah over the Echo. We see that from Sarkweek. Sarkweek and Mallard trying to fly very high in order to not get hacked. He does land the hack. Billiam will translocate out. Razor moving in. We do see the blade come. Taijutsu falling to a blade from Koala Bear, but Koala Bear falling to Mui. Actually, incredible shot. This fight really could be in anybody's favor. Andromeda's with our favorite spin-to-win strategy here. And it looks like the fight will still end in the favor of Project Icarus. Does the connect does not come through on Andromeda's here. Oh, excuse me, I'm running out of breath. Billiam does have the EMP. We do see 4 ultimates on the side of Project Icarus and 3 ultimates, nearly 5 on the side of Rampage. This is very close. It is technically right now a tie with Sarkweek constantly being harassed by Billiam. I would not be surprised if Billiam here translocated into the air just to EMP them out of it. Derpy, oh, Derpy with the bubble down to avoid the hack, but now in a very tough situation. He will jump into point. We do see a trade both sides. It looks like one will fall. Billiam falling to Taijutsu. Looks like this really could be anybody's game. Will Derpy pop the Primal Rage here in order to survive? It looks like Derpy will survive here with the Primal Rage. Oh, Cold Chill falling to Mui, not quite being punched off the map. And it looks like we will see another Primal Rage come out from Razor as well. Razor with this very, very impressive control of this Primal Rage here. They cannot confirm any kills, but with the point still being under the control of Project Icarus, the Rampage are simply just losing here. The EMP will fall. Derpy eliminating Razor, though, saving Mui. The Genji on point is dancing around, but will fall as Deflect will not save him. Derpy at 3 health on the point. Unbelievable performance from the Rampage there, winning the point again with no time left. Andromeda's getting a double kill with nothing but the grapple, but then falling to Fancy Cat. Was it worth it is the question, as Billiam can return to the fight very quickly. We do see an ult advantage ever so slightly in the favor of Project Icarus here. Derpy immediately putting pressure on the Genji. Billiam falling as well. Billiam not falling, but translocating back. We do hear the blade come out, and Derpy just gets caught in the minefield. Will fall very early on. Andromedas gets the nano, but is it enough at this point? He will slam onto the point, but he gets hacked before he can connect. Mallard just flying into the middle of the fight and resurrecting Derpy. An incredible resurrection. Razor falls to Derpy. Derpy is now having to avoid the Genji blade. Mui is going to fall to the blade, but Ball will fall to Andromedus on the side of Project Icarus. Overtime for all players. This is final fight scenario here. Koala Bear running out of blade. It looks like it is just Derpy and Mallard on point, but Derpy will win this first map for the team, proving that he is the MVP of the Rampage for this fight. Absolutely incredible performance from Derpy here. We will be moving on to map 2.
Score 1-0. Ready for battle.
It looks like map 2 will be Garden, I believe this is called. I often just call this the map with the big drum in the middle, but I'm sure there's an official name for it. It looks like we are not going to see a swap from Project Icarus, but it looks like Rampage will be swapping to a double shield comp.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round.
Absolutely incredible performance from all players. Their Derpy really proving his worth as a main tank for this team. We do see Derpy leading the charge. All right, we do hear a hack come out early from Billiam. Billiam has to translocate out as a flame strike took away nearly half of his health. We do see a charge into the side of the fight here. Derpy leading the charge onto his team. Who can get a pick first is the question. It will be the Rampage with Fancy Cat falling very early, but Andromedus falling to Billiam as well. It is now a 5v5 and it looks like Icarus desperately trying to cap the point. Rampage once again in the lead in terms of survival. Koala Bear falling as well. Billiam just dumping his ammo from a distance, getting another hack. He will translocate it out 60% to EMP already. Mui has been hacked. Fancy Cat and Razor falling. Absolutely incredible performance here. Derpy really creating the space, doing his job, leading the charge here. Very good control from the Wrecking Ball on the side of Project Icarus. Billiam falling to Andromedus. Andromedus getting that revenge. We do see the Ball playing the classic spin-to-win strategy, farming that ultimate that he will get, but he'll get stunned. Will he die? The answer is yes. He will fall to Andromedus. Was the ultimate gain worth it? We will find out when he pops that ultimate. But with the Rampage just ticking up a quarter of the map already, with very little contesting here, as Billiam just cannot get out of spawn. The Rampage really holding them on in spawn here. Billiam flanking around. He will get the hack on Sarkweek most likely. But with them moving back, the hack coming through, Taijidu dying to the minefield, proving that ultimate gain was worth it. The pick on Billiam simply will not be enough as Razor cleans up a third of the team with his Rampage. And it looks like Derpy will fall as well. He will get the pin on Razor. A fantastic timing. He will kill Razor. He will be the only one left on the map. Mallard sleeping on the map. Derpy will fall. Mallard is now on his own. Mallard just desperately trying to take up the point as much as he can. He's got the beat. Will he drop it is the question. The answer is no. It looks like the Project Icarus will successfully be able to flip this map in their favor here. We do see a lot of ultimates on the side of every team, but the Rampage with an Ult-Pocalypse. Every player on their team having an ultimate here. Billiam does have that EMP, so they need to be very, very careful with these ultimates, because if they are hacked out of them, it will be useless. The Dragons do come out early, and they were thrown way too far back into the point. Not going to be able to be confirmed a single kill, but we do see a Nanoblade EMP, 3 ultimates on the side of Project Icarus to win a single fight. And it will be enough. They will successfully get the point. Andromedus on point alone will fall as the hack eliminates all mobility, the very little mobility that Sigma has. We do see only a single ultimate used. The Rampage are now in a serious ult advantage over Project Icarus. As long as they don't blow these ultimates, they can hold this advantage for the rest of the game. I do apologize if my voice has gotten rather weak. I have been talking for nearly 2 hours straight, and I'm still very new to commentating. We hear the high noon and see the minefield come out as well as the beat. They really are throwing every ultimate they have, and they will still fall. With 3 ultimates coming out on the side of the Rampage, they will still lose this fight, which will put Project Icarus officially in the lead. Oh, excuse me. 2 of those ultimates came from Project Icarus. With one of those ultimates, a lot of ultimates went off there. I apologize for my miscommunication. I lost track of what ultimates came from who. We will see the swap onto Hanzo from Mui, but is there enough time? Sarkweek on the Genji, something we have not seen from Sarkweek quite yet. Mui gets a very early pick on Billiam here. This may be the Rampage's opportunity to turn this around as Derpy falls asleep, but is woken up by a slam. Sarkweek dashing into Cold Chill. Can he confirm a... It looks like the point will simply just be flipped as Project Icarus just fall one by one. Sarkweek will fall, but doesn't matter. Now all the Rampage have to do is hold this point. Hold this point for 2 team fights. They will be able to win it all. They will win a 3-2. Looks like we do see a lot of ultimates here on the side of Project Icarus, with the EMP being a very big one. If Billiam can pull off a big EMP here, which it looks like it's going to be big if it's pulled soon. With the team spreading out, every second the EMP is more worthless. The EMP only hitting 2, but with 2 already being eliminated, it looks like they will take us to map 3. This will really come down to Game 5, map 3. The longest series of the Rampage so far. And it looks like Project Icarus will successfully be able to take map 2, bringing us to map 3, which will be Mecha Base. Again, a very interesting map. I have yet to see Project Icarus play on this map, but I know Rampage is, again, very familiar with this map.
Ready for battle.
It looks like we will see no swaps so far. We will see Reaper on Koala Bear on Reaper. And Sarkweek back to the Hanzo, Mui back to the McCree, but the tanks overall will stay the same. Billiam swapping to Doomfist here. Looks like we will see possibly a Rhine Ball combo, but I would not be surprised if we saw the ball swap to Zarya. There's the swap predicted. We do see them pushing far up the right side. If Sarkweek can get an early pick here, it could be very valuable for his team. Billiam already very low, pushing back. Billiam falling, as does Sarkweek, but as does Koala Bear, putting the Rampage at a serious advantage as Project Icarus has lost both their damage. Both their damage heroes. If anything, the Rampage should drop backwards to the point and see if they can cap. With the Zarya very out of place, dropping down to the point. Derpy drops as well. Razor pushes very far forward with the teams all following close. Who will lose a hero first here? Who will be able to cap the point? The damage heroes will be returning from Project Icarus. Derpy falling, Mallard falling. The point will be turned in the favor of Project Icarus as all 6 of the heroes on the side of the Rampage fall, with a team kill coming from Team Project Icarus. We will see a complete reset. And even after losing that fight, it looks like the Rampage may be at the slightest ult advantage here. With the Nano coming out very early, we can see a Shatter here if it can be pulled off. Do we see the Shatter of the purple, forcing Derpy to move back? Mallard falling early. They will lose their off support. He will get the pin, but it will not be enough. Billiam falling to Derpy's charge, but Project Icarus are cleaning up the Rampage. It looks like what we need to see here is possibly... Oh, there cannot be a Moira swap. We possibly need to see a Brigitte swap from Mallard, but the far left flank already being predicted by Project Icarus. They are ready to full rotate. We do see the Shatter from both Reinhardts, but again, it looks like we are ever so slightly in the lead on ults on the side of the Rampage. The Shatter blocked from Derpy. Derpy hitting a much bigger Shatter, hitting 3. It looks like this will be the fight the Rampage are able to turn around in their favor. It looks like 4 will fall. It looks like the entirety of Project Icarus will fall. Very impressive team kill from Rampage. 60% on the board for Project Icarus. Hopefully, the Rampage can turn this fight around in their favor. We do see they're very spread out at the moment, which is not a good place to be, especially against a Reaper and a McCree. We see a big dragon here. It looks like Derpy is going to fall. It looks like he may be able to get out with his life, but ever so slightly. 200 of an incredible high noon coming from Mui. Mui in his ultimate placements today have just been phenomenal, but they may not be enough to save his Reinhardt, who's very low. Billiam will eliminate both Mui and Derpy. Billiam really proving his worth on the McCree, showing Mui he's got some serious challenge here. The high noon coming from Billiam quite wasted, actually, as the entire enemy team has already fallen. And the point will be flipped back into the favor of Project Icarus. Koala Bear getting up close and personal here. And it looks like the Rampage will really have to push forward as a group here. Again, now down in the ult exchange. They're now at an ultimate disadvantage here. We see Razor is sleeping, but nobody can really do much about that. The Graviton Surge coming from everybody, with the beat coming from Fancy Cat here. Andromeda's 12% from one of his own, Koala Bear, with an incredible ultimate. Again, getting a quad. Mui is cleaning up Koala Bear and Billiam, but it just will not be enough as a 4v2 is not winnable. And it looks like that may have been the game. It looks like Project Icarus may reign supreme here. They may come out on top unless Andromeda. No, he will be slept off the point. How unfortunate. An absolutely incredible game from all players. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We will see you back on Friday. We will be back with the Rampage against a new team. We are so ready to have you back. We are so excited to have a new scrim. We will see you then. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next time. I'm Septilins. I'll be casting these games for the future. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, anything you'd like. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Have a good one.